Welcome to our science lesson 4, Farm Animal Shelter. This is a kindergarten STEM challenge, which means that we're using science, technology, engineering and mathematics. This week we're talking about farm animals. We are learning to use a checklist to design a shelter. What I'm looking for is that you can include these features in a shelter for a farm animal. The features I'm looking for are: have you included space for food? Have you included a place for water? Is the animal able to get enough air in its shelter? Have you thought about safety? How is this animal going to feel safe in the shelter that you have made for them? Is there enough space for the animal to feel safe and healthy? Can the animal move around in the space? In our previous lessons, we've learned that all animals and plants need water, food, homes, and air, and they keep themselves safe by using their senses. Last week, we looked at the features of a chicken coop. This week, you will use all of these ideas to make sure you can use your checklist. Let's think about why we need to use a checklist when we're designing our shelter for a farm animal. Looking at a checklist is a good way to see that we have achieved the goals of the activity. We can check that we have included everything we need to keep our farm animals safe and healthy. We already know some things about using a checklist because Miss Devlin includes these in our literacy lessons. And we've been using Walt, we are learning to, and WILF, which is what I'm looking for, in all our science lessons this term. When we reflect at the end of the lesson, this is like using a checklist. The words that we'll be using in today's lesson are features, that's the parts of the shelter. Design means to do the drawing. Food, water, air, and shelter. These are the things that the living things need. And checklist. I've put that in bright green because it's very important that you look at the checklist today. Let's have a look at some animals that you might find on different types of farms. There are chickens, geese and ducks, cows and sheep, pigs, horses and donkeys. These are just some of the animals that you might find on a farm, and these are the animals that we'll be talking about today. Pigs live in a sty with lots of mud for them to roll around in for keeping them cool in summer. Cows and sheep. Cows and sheep both live in fields with plenty of grass for them to feed on. Geese and ducks like to live near ponds or water on the farm, but they tend to roam all around as well. That means they need plenty of space to walk around, but they also need to live near water that they can swim in. Horses and donkeys live in stables where there is hay for them to eat. Now it's time for I do. I have a picture of a pigsty design, and I'm going to show you how to use the checklist to make sure I have included all of the features of the pigsty. I've included food and I've labelled it. I've included water and I've labelled it. And I've put an arrow to show where the water is and where the food is. I've included air or ventilation. They mean the same thing in this lesson. Safety. The roof and the fence provide the pig with safety. Space. There is extra space for the pig to run around. So I come over to my checklist and I think, did I include a space for food and did I label it? Yes, I did. So I'm going to colour in that happy face. Did I include water and label it? Yes. So I'll colour in the happy face. Did I make sure that the pig can get enough clean air? Yes. Did I think about ways to keep the pig safe? Yes. So I colour in that face. And did I leave enough space for the pig to move around? Yes, I did. So I have used my checklist to make sure I have included all of the things that my living thing will need. Now it's time for we do. Last week I said, make your drawing of a chicken coop and put on any labels you like. But this week we're learning to use a checklist. So let's have a look at those wonderful drawings you sent in last week and think about how we would use the checklist to make sure we have included all the features we need. Take a look at this picture and see if you can find food. Did you find it? This person has included food so they can give themselves a green smiley face or whatever colour you like. Here is the food and here is the water. So this person can give themselves a green smiley face for including water. Can you find air? How does the air get into this chicken coop? Well, she's used our special word ventilation. So yes, you can give yourself a green smiley face for making sure that the air can get into the shelter. Safety. Now she hasn't used the word safety, but she has got a roof and she's also labelled these nest boxes because these keep the chickens safe when they're laying eggs and they keep the eggs safe as well. So I gave her a green smiley face for labelling the nest boxes and an orange smiley face because she has the roof but she forgot to write a label. And she's also included enough space for the chicken to run around. I know that because the chicken's going outside with the ramp. I think she did a fantastic job, so I've given her a sticker and said, well done. Let's have a look at another chicken coop. See if you can find where the food goes in this chicken coop. Did you find it? It's here and it's labelled, so we can give a smiley face. Can you find water? I can find it easily because it's coloured in blue, but we don't have a label for it, so I'm going to give an orange smiley face for this one. Air. Can you find that special word that we use for air? Ventilation. Safety. I can see that there is a roof. I've given you a green smiley face because the nest box is somewhere for the animal to feel safe, and the bedding helps the animal to be safe because we can clean out the chicken coop with the bedding. How do I know that the chicken has enough space to run around? There is a tree there, which means I can see that there's enough space between the chicken coop and the tree, so there's plenty of space. So well done for that. It's an excellent job. You do. For your work today, you're going to choose one of these animals and design a shelter. The most important thing is that you can show me that you have included food, water, air, safety, and space. If you forget to include it in your drawing, you'll need to colour in the sad face. If you include it in your drawing but forget to label it, colour in the middle face. If you include it in your drawing and put a label on it, you can colour in the happy face.